breastfeeding sucks. And it's okay to not breastfeed. You don't need to have a reason. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to attempt and then switch to formula. It is okay to decide to not breastfeed simply because you don't want to. My situation is a little different. I have shared my life on the internet for the last 7 years. 4 years ago, I got diagnosed with a very rare breast disease called idiopathic granuloma mastitis, also known as IgM. At the time of my diagnosis 4 years ago, there was less than 800 women in the United States that had my breast disease. It is very uncommon, very rare, literally to the point where they didn't even know how to treat it. It's very gross. It's very disgusting. I'm going to try to show you a picture here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it in, but there's no nipple here. This is just for educational purposes. But this is what my diseased breast looked like. It resulted in me having multiple surgeries and just like a mess. My titties look great now. They are still my natural boobies, but they look great now. However, I have 4 children now. I got diagnosed with my breast disease after my second, when my second was about 3 years old, because he's 8 now. Yeah, so 3, almost 4, I guess. I breastfed him. I breastfed him for about 7 months, and it was torture. It was literal torture. I gained like 60 pounds. In those few months that I was breastfeeding him. My mental health suffered. My mental health was at the lowest that it has ever been in my entire life. I felt like I was dealing with postpartum depression. I didn't go outside for almost 3 years. Like, it just effed with my mind because I was determined to breastfeed because it felt like that was the only option. Like, all the moms were like, breastfeed, breastfeed, breastfeed. Breast is best. Shove it in their mouth, do it at Target, do it at the grocery store, making necklaces with the titty milk, all this stuff, all this beautiful, wonderful stuff. It was not like that for me, okay? It was not like that for me. When I was breastfeeding my second, I was very large. I had not lost any weight yet. My titties were a 53G, okay? That's a big fucking back, okay? With some big ass titties, okay? You're not pulling out a 53G titty at fucking Target. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. First of all, what aisle is big enough for a 53G titty to be out? Not only would you probably get fined for indecent exposure, but there's got to be some level of assault with a titty that freaking big, okay? Congratulations to you A and B cup girlies that can just pull a little tiny titty up like a little teacup and just put it in your baby's mouth. Us big titty girlies, we can't do that shit. How people breastfeed with one hand, I don't know, okay? Because when I breastfeed, I need all hands on deck because I need somebody holding back right side of the titty and left side of the titty so that I don't suffocate the damn baby with my titty skin, okay? I'm just talking about the logistics. I'm not even talking about the mental side of it, but it is more than okay to not breastfeed. And it's dumb people like Esther here saying stupid shit like this. At the end of the day, when the children are all grown up, when they're in high school, when they have jobs, when they're getting their paychecks, when they're filing their taxes, you cannot tell which child was breastfed and which one was not. It is okay to decide not to breastfeed. It is okay to say I'm not breastfeeding because I don't want to. You do not have to justify your reason, okay? If people can feed their kids donuts and applesauce for breakfast and we act like it's normal, you can give your baby formula, all right? If you want to puree your baby's food or you want to feed a McDonald's, do what is best for you first, and then you think about your baby. But constantly just saying, this is what's best for my baby, while your mental health is struggling, while your medicine cabinet is overflowing from the medicines that you need just to stabilize your mood. Like, I mean, how fun is your super nutrient-filled baby when you can't even function mentally? Like, okay, my baby's got all the freaking nutrients in the world, but I don't even want to go outside. I don't even want to fucking breathe. Real smart here. Real smart. If you want to breastfeed your baby, I think that is great. That is wonderful. That is great. I do not have the ability to breastfeed my baby. I could probably lose my baby if I attempted to only breastfeed my baby because my baby would not gain weight. However, I would like to say this. Even if my titties worked and the milk came out, listen to me closely. I am telling you, I'm about 90% sure I would still make the decision not to breastfeed my baby. And the reason is because of how my mental health suffers when I am doing that. And I love my children. I would give my life if it meant they could breathe for 1 second longer than me. Because I love my children, I know that a mentally sound mind is one of the best gifts that I can give them as a mother. And if breastfeeding for me is going to impact that, I am willing to make that decision. And I think that we should stop pushing it on people and making them feel shame because they choose not to for whatever reason. Like I have shared that I have a medical reason that I cannot. But even if I could, I wouldn't. And I wouldn't give a shit what Esther or anybody else thinks of it.